What does the fair mean to me? Good question. It is a good thing, and it has brought me into a piece of life that I never thought I'd get into.
The world has gone completely insane. When you enter the fair, you can forget about that for a little while, and I've always valued being part of that.
When you find a place that calls you home year after year, you find a subtle sense of wonder and comfort between those who work the fairs and those who patronize them. This is their story and how COVID-19 has affected them.
I took early retirement about 20 years ago, getting sort of fed up with what I had been doing, and in fact started trying to make a living, at least in part, on fairs.
I love the challenge of Faire and how much it pushes me to grow and adapt. I like the camaraderie with the other cast members and how we support each other.
It's a place where I don't have to pretend to be anything. I can just be me, and it is a carefree day.
As somebody who has never really fit in a typical mold and only ever wanted to make people smile on stage, getting a chance to go do that at festivals was just that. It was the ultimate freedom.
I feel like almost no matter what fair you go to, you see the same things. You see the people dressed up in garb everywhere, you see the actors and the vendors and the signs, and it's just kind of walking through that is like walking home for the first time in a while, and it's always kind of great.
But you know how it is, cannon goes off, and then you have a mini panic attack before the crowd's there, and you just have to jump into it, and there's really no preparing for that.
The moment you walk through the gates, because you see all of the sights and smell all the smells and hear all the things. You hear the din of vendors hawking their wares and the jingles of bells and belts that people have on.
To be able to bring genuine, unique entertainment to somebody in droves at a time, every single festival day, and every single time, your show might be the same, your script might be the same, but sometimes the reactions were different, sometimes they were good, sometimes they were bad, but the important thing is they were genuine, and because you get those genuine responses from people, there was really nothing more freeing, at least to me, as a performer.
Everyone in garb is a friend, and it's really kind of a lovely place.
In early 2020, when the first festivals across the nation were kicking off the season, the COVID-19 virus swept the globe, beginning in China, spreading across Europe, and eventually making footfall in the United States, turning into a global-wide pandemic. For people who live by the fair, and for those who find year-round entertainment from them, it was a huge blow to a cherished way of life when festivals across the nation began canceling.
Wow. First started seeing fairs canceled fairly early in the year.
To be able to be the last show that fair fans are going to see before everything changes means a lot to me.
I think it was the safest choice. I don't want anyone to get sick. I don't want con crud to kind of explode into something that hurts my friends.
That's it, man. That's the last normal fair day I've had since then.
I was actually somewhat relieved because the packed fair is the perfect place for a virus to spread. Living outside the US and hearing how bad COVID-19 has hit back home, I get super worried about people.
I had time to process it, and I still can't say I've fully processed it, but being able to be one of the last ones out to get polites meant a lot. And I think the fans kind of began to know that, because as people were seeing it on their phones, people were either leaving the fair in droves, or they were staying longer. They were trying to cling to it because they kind of knew a little bit like this is not good, this is different.
So you have to worry about the entertainers and the craftsmen and what are they going to do without the festival. It all just really hammered home to me the fact that with the travel restrictions in place, I really don't know when I can make it back.
I wanted to make sure that the actors and vendors that I go to every year were okay, and I made some pretty large purchases from some of my favorite vendors. And then I discovered Digital Renaissance Fair and the Faire 2020 page, which has been amazing.
So I tried to start thinking about what would happen if the rest of the year also went the same way.
When you know that you're going to be challenged and pushed by something like Faire every year, you have a reason to keep yourself up and keep pushing. But without it, I just feel like I've stalled, which I'm starting to get over, but it's going to take a little while.
Started really spending a lot of time watching what fairs were opening and closing, watching the spread of the virus, and all that good stuff.
I've met so many new amazing actors and vendors that I didn't know existed before, and I have purchased from them as well and donated to their PayPals. So I feel like it has broadened my horizon of things out there, but it's not the same as actually going to Faire.
I think I may have to redesign my entire business model and get online.
Of course, I miss it, and I feel like without that reset, I've had to be a little more cautious about my personal self-care and make sure that I do make time for myself to be a little carefree.
It's affected my life, definitely negatively, because, as they say, when one domino falls, it all falls down.
Going back to Faire and being with my tribe was a huge part of my identity and my reasons for doing things, and without it, I became very despondent and very unsure of the world. I'm slowly starting to get a grip on things again, mainly because life goes on, and
I feel like it's the safest decision for everyone, and no matter how it affects me personally, I go there to spend money and make fun, which is very different than people who go there as part of their livelihoods, and I feel awful for them, but I also don't want them to get sick.
It's been a lot of scratching and clawing just to get out of bed. It's not been really easy. It's been really, really difficult.
Well, at the moment it looks as though we're developing vaccines, which is probably a good thing, because I frankly have become much more cynical about people's ability to follow very basic public health things like, wearing a mask.
I think once I can get back, then I can fully get my legs back under me.
I'm already starting to cry. I'm probably gonna cry the second I pull into the parking lot, or the second I get my little season pass in the mail, and then probably when I walk in, and I'm probably gonna just hug random people. I'm gonna be very excited.
I want to see everyone again. I want to work so hard, I think my legs will fall off, and just feel like I'm a part of something.
I am really missing a lot of very good friends, and I hope they're going to do better this year. I'm cautious. I'm aware of what's going on, and I know a little bit about the science of contagion. So I'm hoping for the future that the vaccine will come through and more people will realize this is not a hoax, that at least to some degree things like masks in particular do have some help for people.
2020 wound down as winter set across the nation. Unfortunately, due to the weather change, this resulted in a continued wave of COVID-19 cases, higher in some states than they've had the rest of the year. However, news from various festivals started being shared across the festival community about some fairs preparing for return in 2021. And again, unfortunately, as January 2021 came back around, and the virus just as prominent as it has been in 2020, and a public vaccine still months away, for continued safety reasons, the early festivals began canceling once again, even before opening, making it look like 2020 all over again.
Well, crap. If 2021 doesn't happen, it will be because we are still fighting this pandemic. And it will be because we still want everyone to stay safe. So I feel like that's important.
Knowing that your home state and its own incompetence because of some of its people who live here being the prime reason that your passion has now been postponed until 2022. I was furious. I was mad. I don't know. I'm trying not to swear. This is a film project. I'm not going to do that. But I was livid. Just thinking about it, I get heated because, you know, felt robbed. Again, you know, it wasn't just a matter of, that was like last year, but worse, because at least last year I had a last hurrah. But this time it was like, nope, we're not happening at all. Nope, things are so bad that there's no way from November to February, there's no way things are going to improve. And here we are filming this in January and things have not improved. So, you know, in hindsight now, it's like, yeah, sure, that was the right decision. But in the moment, I was mad. I was mad as hell because it's not our fault. We as performers, we didn't do this. We didn't cause this. So why are we getting punished? I typically don't keep my show banners and stuff on the wall. They're usually wrapped up with the rest of my props so they're ready to go. But I hang them up now because I need a reminder that things will hopefully get better, because I don't really know what to do if they don't.
I am going to be absolutely devastated, but it'll be okay because we need to survive and make it to the next set of fairs.
So all I can do now is hope for the best for the people like me who are going to try and move to other places as safety allows. If those were canceled, that'd be devastating for the community as a whole. Dusty Rhodes once said in his world-famous Hard Times promo for the National Wrestling Alliance, hard times breed better men. Now, I'll adjust that because this is not just about men, it's about everyone. Men, women, everything in between. Hard times breed better Rennings. We will come back, we will be better, it's just a matter of time.